As we continue to explore how to pray with children, there are 3 words that can guide us: prepare, pray, and process. By preparing well, praying, and processing together, we're all able to enter more deeply into prayer and experience God in beautiful ways, even our young children. We'll start with prepare. What are some things that will help us to prepare to pray with kids? We can start by physically preparing a space. Environment matters, as it can assist adults and children alike in entering into prayer. Consider setting up a prayer space or a family altar in your home. It's a special place that's set apart for prayer. You can use what you have at home, like a small table or even a low surface or shelf. Once you've identified the space, begin to add some things that will help children recognize that it's a special place. Some examples of things that you might add include a nice cloth, or maybe even cloths that you can change to reflect the liturgical color. Maybe a crucifix or a Bible, statues or sacred art. If you don't have many things at home, you can even print some images or have your kids color pictures or craft a crucifix. The space doesn't have to be elaborate. It should be a place that is comfortable and that helps children focus on the presence of God. Let your children help you prepare the space and take ownership of that environment. The next thing we can do to prepare well is to find a time to pray. Identify what time works best for your family. Plan intentionally so that you can pray with minimal distractions and make the most of your time with the Lord. Finally, if there's anything that you need for prayer, any resources or tools that will assist you in your prayer time, make sure that you have those things ready to go. And now that you're all prepared, it's time to pray. In prayer, we become aware of the presence of God in and around us. As you begin to pray with your children, begin by inviting the children to recognize God's presence in that moment. This will help you guide them into a prayerful time and space. Remember, though, that while we are leading children into prayer, we are praying too. We are modeling and participating. We're praying with them. As adults, we can sometimes underestimate a young person's capacity for prayer. Try not to assume that things will be over their head. Instead, give them opportunities to participate, to listen to God, to receive, and to respond. There are many different ways to pray. During your family prayer time, explore some of these different styles and pay attention to what is fruitful for your family and your children. Give your children opportunities to explore silence, to read Bible stories, to sing, and to speak to God in their own words. Children pray differently from adults, and that's okay. In fact, it's quite beautiful. When we allow children to pray naturally, letting their simple words come straight from the heart, they can reveal to us a sincerity and a deep beauty in prayer that we as adults can sometimes overlook. After your time in prayer, take a few minutes to process together. Share your experience in the time of prayer and invite your child to share theirs. Ask questions like, what do you think God was saying? Ask them about what they're thinking and feeling. If your prayer included a scripture reading or a Bible story, perhaps ask them what part of the story stood out to them the most. Resist the temptation to answer for your child, but instead give them time and space to consider their answers. This time for consideration and discussion can help the entire family to absorb and to process what God was doing and saying in this time of prayer, and for it to take root in our hearts. When we're praying with our children and with our families, let us remember to prepare, to pray, and to process, so that we may receive more deeply all that God desires to give, and that we may continue to grow as a family closer to Him.